Greetings, friends. I'm here to talk upon request about the equipment and tools that I use to record solo piano at home. So let's start by having a look around my studio. This is my Kawai microphone, stand, rat's nest. The Steinway is getting worked on, so not playing that nowadays. I use 2 LED lights in addition to the ceiling light, which I never use by itself. A tripod for my phone. So that's the gist of it. I'll get into some detail now. I use my phone camera. I don't have a special external camera. I think this works just fine. The phone that I have is a Samsung S23. And I really like it. It has a lot of storage, 256 gigs. I did invest in an external hard drive. It's 2 terabytes in size. This is the tripod that I use for my phone. It stands 5 feet tall at its tallest. This clamp here is very flexible. Oop, let's see if this will focus. There, oh, yep. It holds the phone like that, it can tilt, and it collapses all the way down. Looks like this, totally portable. This is a remote control. I don't use it at all, but so that's that. Very simple, it's $25. This is my microphone. It is a blue baby bottle SL. I bought it for $400 or $450. I did see it on sale recently for $200. Oh, turned my stomach. It came with this Shockmount, the cage-like thing. This is a condenser mic versus a dynamic mic. So a dynamic mic is nice because it's like, I think it has easier connection, like a USB. And it doesn't distort as easily, but this condenser mic, it gets more detail. So that's why I opted for it. So you get higher highs, lower lows, and just a cleaner sound on the whole, but it distorts more easily. I did learn recently, that if I position it a little higher over the strings, that distortion is less likely to happen. So the microphone came with this lovely box, so you can store it and protect it. This microphone uses an XLR cable. I guess you would call this the female end. Looks like this. The challenge with an XLR cable, of course, is that I can't plug it directly into my phone. So that's where the other equipment comes into play. The cable itself is 25 feet long. I bought it intending to use it for a concert. So the problem with a longer cable is there's just more room for error, more room for interference in the sound. But I haven't had any issues with this. I did buy a really high quality one. I spent $55 on this cord. The brand is Mogami. So you can buy cables that are made from different things. So I can't remember exactly what mine is, but not all cables are the same quality. So that's something to consider. This microphone stand cost me about $30. It does okay. But obviously, I should have purchased something weighted with a weighted base, or I need to get some sandbags or something. The microphone is too heavy, and it will tip over if it's not weighted down like this. It came with a screw adapter, so what did I call that thing? The shock mount, screws right into it. And the shock mount's important because if you just clip a microphone onto a stand, like this stand came with clips, you could get buzzes in the sound from the microphone just, I don't know, picking up whatever coming through the stand itself. Here I am with the other end of the XLR cable that plugs into the mic. I've just plugged that into my audio interface. This is an iRig Pro. Oh boy, what did I spend? $170 on this on Amazon. This comes with its own set of connecting, I don't know if you call this a cable or a cord or both, but USB-C to go into my phone. And then there's a separate cable that has a USB, so I can use it with my laptop as well. You can control the gain of the microphone, so how much sound comes through. This thing does have a spot for 2 AA batteries because the microphone requires what's called phantom power. So the batteries in here power the microphone. And then my phone, once I plug this into my phone actually powers this thing, the interface itself. This is the base for one of my LED lights. They stand fairly tall, maybe 5 feet again, like my phone tripod. And they collapse and fold up, and they came with a nice little bag. You can also dim them. Mood lighting. That's almost nothing. Ooh. Or, you can change the color. Ooh, morgue lighting. Hospital lighting. House lighting. I will say they're not all that sturdy. They stand up fine. It's just if you're a klutz like me and you knock them over, they'll fall apart and you have to super glue them. So yeah, that's happened. But they were $49 for a pair of 2 from Amazon. It's probably obvious to you by now that I am not a techie person. I don't really know anything about audio. Well, I know very little. It's so complicated and people study years to understand this and do well. A good recording engineer is... So I just can't afford to hire someone every time I want to record something at home or on stage. So that's why I did this. I wanted to have a higher quality audio for my recordings, but keep it simple. So my goal was to avoid having to line up separate audio and video tracks with clapping and all that stuff after. Ain't nobody got time for that. But I was also, phone microphone doesn't quite cut it. So that's where I'm coming from with all of this. I also wanted to just share a couple of the tools that I use on my phone mainly for presentation. So sadly, on the Samsung that I have here, my phone, the camera app does not recognize the external microphone setup. So I had to just download a separate camera app. I use something called Open Camera, and it's great. There are a lot of input options for audio, and just a lot of settings for video too that I tend not to bother with, but that's worked really well. When I make videos like this, where I have to stitch several little ones together, I use a video editor called CapCut. There's a free version of that, which I use. If you want, you can go pro and unlock all the features and pay money. But yeah, so when I record piano, of course, I, have to get at least single movements in one pop, which is why I spend hours recording a 2-minute piece. I've been recording all week, so trying to get ahead. Anyway, I use Canva for my YouTube thumbnails. I just kind of wanted to standardize those, make them pop a little, brand myself, all that good stuff. Canva you can also use for I've made concert posters and postcards on there, and you can have them printed at Staples, which is kind of handy. Yeah, and there's a free version of that. Again, if you want to go all the way, you can pay them money too. I do actually pay money for a service called Restream. It's $19 a month, which is a little more than I'm not making good enough use of it. It's for live streaming to several platforms at once. because I don't think anyone in the world has enough bandwidth to, you know, stream to YouTube and Instagram and Facebook at the same time. But this, I don't know how it does it, but it just tidies things up and sends it out. So, yeah, I should do more live streaming. It scares me a lot, actually. But that's all the more reason to do more of it, I guess. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. I'll share one more thing here, actually. This is my recording planner. So like this week, I decided I would record at least one thing every day. And I have my, you know, that's where I make my practice plans. What pieces to learn, what pieces to review, what pieces to memorize through the next couple of months. So it keeps me accountable and on track, and I write in pencil, so if I need to adjust, I can. But I'm recording a bunch of content. I call it content. Isn't that funny? Early, because the spring always gets so crazy. I had this week off from teaching, so I took advantage. Lots of music to share with you. Feel free with any questions. I probably can't answer them, but I will try. Appreciate y'all listening and wish you well.